people coming in and out every single year. A lot of people.
My experience at KCVI has been a pretty great one, I would say. KCVI is a pretty inclusive school, and it's pretty awesome because it's always been a school that strived for excellence. Whether it been academically or in the arts, I find that KCVI celebrates our individuality, and I really like that about the school.
As much as we're all new people and there's new people coming in and out every single year, a lot of people make connections, and the connections are genuine and they're real.
I was at the beginning of the baby boom, so KCVI was bursting at the seams.
It was a beehive of activity between classes, during classes, activities, noon hours. Sometimes you had to walk sideways to get past somebody down the corridor.
I'm amazed at the talent that graced the halls of KCVI and all the talent that has now, gone on to do incredible things.
Any school that has generations of students go through it, there's a special place in everybody's heart, and the community keeps coming back because of that.
Our family home was across from Winston Churchill. That's where the football team always practiced, still practices to this day. And they would inevitably run out of water. They had these big plastic jugs. They were sort of pliable jugs with these little orange spouts. And they dragged us over, and then they'd knock on the front door and say, "Could we please use your water at the side of the house?" And then it just became a tradition. And we were the official water supplier for the KCVI Blues for decades and decades and decades.
Look at that boiler heater. I love it.
The main office, and the principal at the time was A.H. Fudge. We called him Fudge because that was a good thing to say. So I was at my locker and somebody probably did something smart and I went, Fudge. Except the people in the office thought I said something else rather than Fudge. So I got called into the office. As soon as I saw the front door, it just made me think of that. It was quite hilarious at the time.
There was only one teacher I was disappointed when I entered the class. That was I found out that the teacher was going to be my mother, and it was mathematics that I was taking. So there were some memories that are not quite as great as others, but at least the education does remain with me as a very high point in my life here at KCVI.
I've had a lot of great teachers here that have inspired me, that have engaged me, challenged me. So they're taking those necessary steps, just like all the teachers in the past, all the way back to 1792, took with those students to make a legacy, to make a great legacy for KCVI and KCVI's alumni.
The teachers were such experts in their fields and so dedicated. They knew their material and they were passionate about it. And so
My place sure looks like the classroom, don't it? I got the classroom door lock on the apartment, and I got the thermostat guards over the thermostats, just like you see in the schools at KCVI and Sydenham High School. I have the heavy-duty classroom door lock. The reason why I'm talking for a second because I'm avoiding a copyright strike. So this is a good old video of KCVI.
When I first read in the newspaper the letters to the editor and the debate about the closure of this school, I was really on side with them and thought that this is terrible.
I've had a lot of great teachers here that have inspired me, that have engaged me, challenged me. So they're taking those necessary steps, just like all the teachers in the past, all the way back to 1792, took with those.
And did you know myself, Christian Kennedy, worked with the caretakers at KCVI during fall, September 2000 until December 2000. I'm Christian Kennedy, used to volunteer my time with the caretakers at KCVI, Kingston Collegiate Vocational Institute, and I got to go down to the boiler room to see the boiler system at KCVI. Each classroom is heated by hot water through hot water rods. That hot water travels through the whole school, and each classroom had its own individual thermostat which controlled the valve off the boiler hot water heater system, And those baseboard heaters you see in the school at KCVI are not electric baseboard heaters. They are heated with hot water running through the hot water fins from the boiler system. So KCVI High School in Kingston at 235 Frontenac Street was heated with hot water. KCVI was heated with hot water boiler system, hot water traveling through the school from the boiler system at KCVI, and each classroom had its own control valve on it. So the valve would open and close, and it would allow to let the hot water steam into the rod to heat the classroom, and then the thermostats in each classroom would automatically close off the valve when the classroom reached its temperature setting.
You know that there have been many physical configurations for the school, and that's what you have to think about to carry on. Otherwise, the school and the community would be stuck in the past somewhere.
It's an end of a year in some respects, but we have to look forward to the fact that there will be a new building. The spirit
Quite as great as others, but at least the education does remain with me as a very high point in my life here at KCVI.
I've had a lot of great teachers here that have inspired me, that have engaged me, challenged me. So they're taking those necessary steps, just like all the teachers in the past, all the way back to 1792, took with those students to make a legacy, to make a great legacy for KCVI and KCVI's alumni.
The teachers were such experts in their fields and so dedicated. They knew their material and they were passionate about it. And so they could take risks and felt that they were creators of curriculum. And to come every day into a building where there was that freedom to follow your own ideas and the energy of the kids in the classroom, I defy anyone to say that they have had an equally fulfilling and challenging career as I've had, as I come to the end of my career.
When I first read in the newspaper the letters to the editor and the debate about the closure of this school, I was really on side with them and thought that this is terrible. This building has got such historical significance for all of us. And then I gradually got to change, thinking, well, I'll put myself in the position of a young student coming in with the changes in technology and the modern ways in which buildings are constructed and allow for proper and good education. I thought, wow, if I were a new student, I think I'd vote for the new school. So I think we have to, the older folk, we have to look at it in the eyes of young people and what, I think I'd vote for the new school. So I think we have to, the older folk, we have to look at it in the eyes of young people and what changes they're taking place, and that this in the long run will be the proper thing to do.
A school is a community, it's not necessarily a building. Students and staff who are aware of KCVI's history know that there have been many physical configurations for the school, and that's what you have to think about to carry on. Otherwise, the school and the community would be stuck in the past somewhere.
the spirit, a new school, new opportunities, will be going to a new school, new opportunities, state of the art. It's just bricks and mortar, and it's the people.
Community that's still coming with you.
They go forward wanting to make things better, wanting to grow, wanting to participate.
I had a wonderful school experience. One of the most important things for me and all.
Building being disbanded and a new school being built, I have to think that my memory.
It's keep going for that new horizon.
As well as
Our time here was very purposeful. There was always a sense of both here not only to make
The staff at Sydenham High School would like to extend a big welcome to the class of 2024. Welcome to Sydenham High School. The Sydenham High School Golden Eagle would like to show you around. There are 3 main doors you will probably use when you enter the building. There's a side door close to the bus parking lot, the back doors that go down to the gymnasium or up to the library, or our front door. Here you go, show us around. Eagle is standing in our front hallway, just outside the main office. Let's go inside to see who you'll see when you enter. First desk you'll see will be Sandra's. Sandra is our office manager. She'll answer lots of questions for you. The next desk you'll see beside her is Casey, and Casey is our budget clerk. Beside Casey is Bab, and Bab is our attendance secretary. If you need to sign in late or leave early, you'll do so through this window from the main hallway. Any tour of the first floor should include a stop at the map. Many events are promoted from this spot as it is a main junction on the first floor. The map looks down the math hallway. Your math class will probably be in one of the rooms along this hallway. You'll also notice the half lockers. Many of the grade 9 students will use these lockers next year. Games like chess, puzzles, are meditating to be as fit as our eagle in using our weight room. The weight room is The next stop on our tour is the basement. The cafeteria is located right underneath the library commons and right beside our main gymnasium, where you may choose to play a little basketball if you have some free time. As well in the basement, you'll find many great technology areas, including our transportation shop, our manufacturing shop, and our construction woodworking shop. The cooking or hospitality room, along with communication technology, are also both found in the basement. While in the basement, you'll find the drama room, which is also our mini theater, and a cardio spin room. The second floor is home to many different classrooms. If you're coming down this hallway, you've just left the front hallway of the school where the English classrooms are. And as you walk down this hallway and take a turn down the main hallway of the second floor, you're going by many different classrooms. Take a peek in this window and you can see a science lab. But if you're not looking for a science room, then across the hallway and down just a touch further, you might stumble across your geography classroom, because that will be on this floor as well. And if you're not looking for geography for your upcoming class and you wander down the hallway a little bit further and head in, you'll see where the French classrooms are traditionally held. But if you're not looking for French or science or some of those social science classes, then come on back. Watch out for the chairs, because we are already cleaning out classrooms, so the hallway might have some clutter in it. Head back past the science classroom to the main T in this floor, and then take a left. And as you take a left, you'll see the elevator down the hallway, and you're on your way to the art and music room. So at the next corner, take a right, and we'll meet you there. Classroom, so the hallway might have some clutter in it. Head back past the science classroom to the main T in this floor, and then take a left. And as you take a left, you'll see the elevator down the hallway, and you're on your way to the art and music room. So at the next corner, take a right, and we'll meet you there. The music program offers instrumental, guitar, and voice. The art room is a big, bright room with lots of windows facing out over the village. Student Services is on the first floor, not too far from the main office. Let's go inside. One of the first people you'll meet when you come into Student Services is our guidance clerk, and her name is Amy Myers. She can probably answer most of your questions for you, or at least direct you in the right direction. Another person you might want to meet in Student Services is our adolescent care worker, and her name is Ricky, and her office is in this corner.
But follow the eagle around the corner a little bit, because there's one other person you need to know how to find, and her name is Shannon Myers. Shannon is our grade 9 point person and will be a big help for you next year. If you'd like to learn how to open up a lock, just follow these instructions. Let's assume your locker combination is 28, 2, 16. You're going to start by turning the dial at least 2 turns to the right. You can go more than 2, but it has to be at least 2 until you get to your first number, which is 28. And then you're going to turn once to the left, going past the number that you just stopped at, the 28, all the way to your second number, which is 2. And then you're going to go to the right, straight to your third number, which in this case was 16. And bam! Hopefully everything works for you and you're into your locker.
Hi folks, Christian Kennedy with you. It's Monday, December 2, 2024. Monday, December 2nd, 2024. Monday, December 2, 2024. Today is Christian Kennedy's birthday. I'm just showing you my old apartment here. See, I just moved here at the Charlotte Lake apartment building. And I shouldn't be telling you exactly where I live, but I just want to give you a point of view about my electric baseboard heater. So, yeah. In my new apartment where I live now, I have such a bigger apartment but smaller baseboard heater. Now, here's the thing. In my old McMillan Manor apartment in Verona, I had a smaller living room. I had a smaller one-bedroom apartment. So my apartment in Verona was smaller, and I also had a bigger baseboard heater, as you can see in the video here. And my apartment is not there anymore because it burnt down from a massive fire about 4 years ago on January 7, 2021, on Thursday at 9:30 p.m., Thursday, January 7, 2021. But here, I had a longer electric baseboard heater with the wall thermostat, and this baseboard heater was a 2,500 watt heater. So I had a 2,500 watt baseboard heater in my living room, and it was hooked up to 240 volts to a wall thermostat. So I had a smaller apartment with a bigger baseboard heater in Verona. But here's the catch. Where I live now in Charlotte Lake, I have such a very nice... I have a new apartment here. It's a one-bedroom apartment, a fairly big size living room. I'm not complaining. I have to go what's provided here. And I have these thermostat guards on my apartment. I'm the one that put these thermostat guards on the apartment. And it's okay. But here's the thing. I have a bigger living room, a bigger apartment where I live in Charlotte Lake. The downside is I have a smaller electric baseboard heater than the one I had in my apartment in Verona, which was run by Kingston Frontenac House, and it was McMullen Manor in Verona, which burnt down from a massive fire. But at my old apartment in Verona, I had a longer 2,500 watt baseboard heater, 240 volts, one into the wall thermostats in Verona. But that apartment's no longer there anymore. Here in Charlotte Lake, I have a bigger living room, but smaller baseboard heater. Back in Verona, I had a smaller living room, but a bigger baseboard heater. Now, this little electric 140 volt, 1250 watts baseboard heater, it's a 1250 watts heater. This little electric baseboard heater, 140 amps, 1250 watts, it should heat this big, huge living room up, no problem. Majority of the thing is, I think this little electric baseboard heater is going to run a lot more longer to keep up the temperature. And we keep the thermostat set to heat on 20 degrees Celsius automatic. So I always have a hard time trying to heat my living room up here. There's a ceiling fan. They say it's recommended to run your ceiling fan, so because heat rises off the baseboard heater, and when you turn the ceiling fan on, it's going to recirculate the heat. However, Christian Kennedy doesn't like running the ceiling fans because he finds it drafty. So you don't have to run it on high. You can always run the ceiling fan on low or even medium. I never use the ceiling fans. For a second source of heat, I have a space heater, which I'm very careful with. Probably most landlords prefer tenants not to have space heaters because they can be considered as fire hazards, but Christian Kennedy knows what he's doing. And number one simple rule with the space heater, always plug it directly into the wall with the plug-in thermostat, and never use a power bar. Because if you use a power bar and you plug one of those in, those use a lot of power. This draws 1,500 watts on a 12.5 amp, 15 amp breaker. So this runs on a 15 amp breaker. It's 1,500 watts. There's high, low, high, low, high. Anyhow, I find this electric fan heater makes a difference. It really heats up my apartment really good. I normally only run this on colder days. But this little baseboard heater, I've been here now for 2 years, but this little electric baseboard heater, it should heat my living room up, but I find sometimes it will run for more than a half an hour sometimes. And normally, what I usually do is I keep my thermostat at 170. I don't turn my thermostat down and up. I'll leave it at 170 24 hours a day. So for some reason on here, when I set my thermostat to heat on 20 degrees Celsius automatic, I usually always get up to about 21 degrees. Right now the heat is off. The heat is off, electric heaters, and it's 19 Celsius in here. It's about 19 degrees, so not bad. So the heat's off right now. I'm going to eventually be turning on the electric heat. I remember a year ago in February, I let the heaters run on and off when they needed to at that heat on 20 degrees Celsius automatic. And I actually used up to 500 kilowatt hours per month. I used about 500 kilowatts, and my electric bill was $100. So that's pretty good. But this is a little tour of my apartment there. You see a little tour. And I'm going to quit talking because I don't want to disturb my neighbors. This is my new electric bike. I just got it fixed today. So there's the brand new electric bike I got about 8 months ago. And I took it into the bike shop in Kingston. I had them retighten up my chain. So my chain's retighten up. they fixed that for me. That was out of level. And they put a brand new piece on here. Brand new piece. So before, for some reason, that was twisted around. So they put a brand new piece on there. That's all fixed up. So the bike's been cleaned up. They cleaned the bike for me. And they put brand new chain on there. They put oil on the chain. It's all fixed up. And renter's here now, so I won't be riding the bike until like April 2025. But today is Monday, December 2, 2024. It's Christian Kennedy's birthday today. So this video is for mostly entertainment purposes only. You know, it's a nice apartment. you can't complain. This classroom door lock on here, it's pretty cool. That's a classroom door lock, heavy duty classroom door lock. And I just had a buddy of mine over a couple weeks ago, and he installed me brand new pressure treated plywood. So this is a special plywood that's just been installed on like Wednesday, November 15, 2024, something like that. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we replaced the plywood because the old plywood was rotten. So if you're somebody that knows me, I know who you are. But the thing is, we replaced this plywood and put in brand new pressure treated plywood, which means it's waterproof. So if it rains or anything like that, it's not going to leak water inside the window. And we fixed up the bracket, we pried it down there, that way that if there was ever an emergency, I can get this window to open. So the plywood comes out, we got a screen on here and everything. So this is a brand new pressure treated plywood. And this is the LG 6000 BT air conditioner unit. Some of these have electric heat on it, but these ones don't. So that's pretty cool. So brand new pressure treated plywood. Brand new pressure treated plywood. It's waterproof and no water can't get in. So this is thermostats here.